Central area, wide to this near side, and Machado. Luis Diaz back towards James Rodriguez as Colombia continue to pop around the passes here on the edge of the penalty area. Luis Diaz taking over again. He's got James Rodriguez in support. He's forced back though towards Puerta. James Rodriguez has got John Arias doing much of his running in the midfield area, which is a real benefit to him. Puerta laid off by Machado, and Portugal can't get a kick here. Davinson Sanchez infield again towards Puerta, and eventually it's blocked by João Neves, and Bruno Fernandes will try and bring it clear, helped out by Ronaldo, and coming back in field was João Felix. He was caught on the halfway line by Davinson Sanchez, and it will be a free kick. I'll quickly give you the two teams again. Colombia, Vargas in goal, Santiago Arias, Sanchez, Lucumi and Machado, John Arias, Lerma and Puerta, Rodriguez, Cordoba and Diaz. Portugal, now Diego Costa in goal. João Cancelo has gone off to be replaced by Diego Dallo. Ruben Diaz, Renato Vega, Nuno Mendes. Ruben Neves has made way for João Neves alongside Vitinha. Pedro Neto, Bruno Fernandes, João Felix and Cristiano Ronaldo.
I tell you what, from the Portuguese point of view, I talked about how that sort of middle two have been outplayed really by Colombia, and that means that they haven't been able to get in the likes of João Felix too often, Pedro Neto, but especially Bruno Fernandes. Not seen enough of him in that first half.
John Arias now wins it back from Cristiano Ronaldo, and he's levered off the ball by Nuno Mendes on the far side, but the referee says fair challenge. He won the ball. Bruno Fernandes again. Ronaldo pulls wide to the left-hand side. Now Vitinha. Wide towards Diego Dallo on the right. And now Pedro Neto. Both teams have played some excellent football so far, but not quite the cutting edge. They combined for 22 shots in the first half, which was the most so far in the first half of any World Cup game in this tournament. Vitinha. Wide towards Neto. He comes back infield to find Dallo. High cross into the area, and it was João Felix shaping for the header, but he never really hit it with any conviction on the forehead, and it's over the top.
No, he's not known for his heading ability, and if that was Cristiano Ronaldo in that position, I think that would have been a goal. He's actually done really well to get in between the two Colombian defenders, but it's come off his shoulder in the end. Ronaldo's just behind him, and he holds his... Ronaldo puts his hands in the air. Roberto Martinez is clapping because he's happy they've been on the front foot, but yeah, if that was Ronaldo in that position, I'm pretty sure that'd be 1-0 Portugal. It goes to show, despite the Portuguese being on the back foot for a lot of the game, and even the start of this second half as well, how dangerous they can be and how careful Colombia need to be.
At 3 a.m. we have the conclusion of the group stage. Jordan against Argentina on TalkSport, Algeria against Austria on TalkSport 2. And the big news for Argentina is Lionel Messi's been dropped or left out.
He's got no future, that lad.
9 changes for them from that victory against Austria.
I've got to be honest with you, I'm surprised. So, fair play to Messi. If he wanted to, he would have played. I'm sure he'd want to win the Golden Boot. I'm sure he'd want to try and score as many goals as possible. He knows that Kylian Mbappe has got another 1 or 2 World Cups left in him. And he's seeing the bigger picture.
Yeah, Marcus Senesi among the players to come into the side to make his competitive debut.
I mean, can you imagine if they win back-to-back World Cups, something that's not been done since, what, 58 and 62? And then he just says, right, that's me, I'm done.
If you can go out at the very, very top, then I think, well, I wouldn't say you're lucky to do that, but because he's worked incredibly hard, but that's the way to do it.
Yeah.
Now a long ball played forward for Colombia, and Portugal was sleeping. It's gathered by Cordoba. There was no offside flag there. It's kept brought away by Ruben Diaz, but John Arias has now robbed Nuno Mendes, and Portugal defensively all over the place here. But then Jefferson Lerma stands on the ball, doesn't see Bruno Fernandes coming from behind him. He picks his pocket, and Portugal will try and bring it forward. João Felix with an injection of pace. He's got support from Bruno Fernandes, but the pass was behind him. Doesn't find Ronaldo. It's cut out by Machado.
But Machado does really well because everyone's looking as if the ball's going to go to Ronaldo, and that was what it was meant. So he's come across, it's behind Ronaldo, and actually Machado's just stuck his leg out because Pedro Neto was there waiting on his own. So the left back for Colombia did really well there.
Don't forget the round of 32 starts on TalkSport tomorrow night. South Africa against Canada, and of course Canada having to move south of the border to LA after losing that game against Switzerland.
Yeah, but I think they've got away with that one. I mean, I don't know how South Africa qualified. I don't think they're a good side with respect to them.
Well, they beat South Korea, who could well be heading out to the competition this evening.
Well, we'll see, but I fancy Canada for that one.
Still, DR Congo 0, Uzbekistan 1 in this group as Luis Diaz comes forward now. You can follow that game on the TalkSport app. Machado does well to gather inside the penalty area. Jefferson Lerma hits it, and it's fisted away by Diego Costa. And from that save, Ronaldo flicks it wide to the far side. João Felix, though, loses out to Davinson Sanchez. Almost kicked out at him, I think.
Brilliant, just brilliant defending from Davinson Sanchez. It didn't quite happen for him at Spurs. I'll tell you what, he's an absolute rock for Colombia.
And now James Rodriguez. Able to control on this near side. Puerta. Square towards John Arias, who hits it, but this time it's gathered more comfortably by Diego Costa.
Will Costa be quite happy with shots coming in from that far out? But still, John Arias, he's really impressed me this evening. There's so much energy. He's happy to go down the wing, receive the ball there, or come inside like he did. And just Diego Costa easily saved that one. It wasn't so easy just a minute or so earlier from Jefferson Lerma, who actually was further out. But the ball, you could see, was dipping and swerving, and in the end, he's got his fist to it. There's no way he's going to try and catch that.
Well, Colombia have never had a 0-0 draw in 24 previous games at the World Cup.
I can see why.
Absolutely. They've won 8 of their last 9 games in the group stage. A 2-1 defeat against Japan in 2018, the only blemish on that record. And they're looking to win 3 in a row for only the second time, 2014, when they had a really good team with a young James Rodriguez. And that was a team which ran Brazil very, very close in the quarterfinals and arguably were pretty unlucky. Now Vitinha. He's got João Neves alongside him now at the heart of the Portuguese midfield. Nuno Mendes in towards João Felix. He shoots and turns, but it's blocked by Davinson Sanchez. And now Santiago Arias. All the way back towards Davinson Sanchez, and he gives it the big boot, looking for Cordoba, causing problems for Renato Vega. Ruben Diaz, though, will jump to head the ball away, and the two central defenders just about sort themselves out, and that was mainly because Ruben Diaz took control of the situation. 56 minutes played on TalkSport 2. Here in Group K, Colombia 0, Portugal 0. Colombia heading for top spot in the group. Portugal will be heading to Toronto to face Croatia after they beat Ghana earlier tonight. England, of course, seeing off the challenge of Panama eventually in the second half with goals from Bellingham and Kane. And that win for Croatia confirming Scotland's exit. And Steve Clarke has also announced he is stepping down as Colombia prepare to make 2 changes. Luis Suarez, their main striker, will be coming on as one of those changes, and Richard Rios of Benfica will also be coming on. Defensive midfielder. Now Pedro Neto on this near side, infield towards João Neves, who does well to ride the challenge of Cordoba. It's flipped wide towards the far side, and João Felix, his high cross in though is over the head of Ronaldo and into the arms of Camilo Vargas.
Yeah, João Felix not happy there, but he just overplayed the ball. You know, he's had a couple of little sprints and he's looked pretty sharp. And whenever he has tried to run, either Santiago Arias or Davinson Sanchez, they've more than matched him. So he's got to be a little bit clever, come inside, whip the ball in, but a better execution on the cross needed.
Puerta coming forward now for Colombia. He was playing in the second tier in Spain last season, promoted with Racing Santander. James Rodriguez with a crossfield ball on the near side, which goes straight to Dalot, and the two changes for Colombia still waiting to come on as Dalot plays it forward towards João Neves, and Ronaldo hits it wide. Well, what a chance for Cristiano Ronaldo, but the flag's up for offside, but he didn't know that, and he should have found the back of the net.
Yeah, stick the ball in the back of the net and then look at the linesman afterwards. But what a ball from Diogo Dalot. You saw it, a crossfield ball just along the ground. Must have been, what, 40 yards? Seeing João Felix, who very unselfishly tried to play in Cristiano Ronaldo, but again, he's just too keen. And we're talking about one of the greatest goal scorers this planet has ever produced. There's been a few times now he's gone offside. You'd think he would just wait and hold the line, look at the person in front of him, make sure he's in line with him, and he didn't. And then he was offside, but no goal, didn't get it in the back of the net anyway.
Cordoba and Lerma have gone off, and Rios and Suarez have come on. Luis Suarez, 38 goals for Sporting in Portugal. He was the Victor Gyökeres replacement last season, including 5 in the Champions League. He got 2 in a win against Paris Saint-Germain when he was up against João Neves and Vitinha. A late developer though, only really got into the side towards the end of the World Cup qualifiers, and then scored 4 in his debut against Venezuela. And Richard Rios, Champions League scorer for Benfica this season under Jose Mourinho, so he will take on the Lerma role, and Suarez will be alongside Luis Diaz as a back header from Diogo Dalot is fielded by Diego Costa in the Portuguese goal away to our left. An hour played on TalkSport 2. Colombia 0, Portugal 0, and it's still DR Congo 0, Uzbekistan 1. So the situation in the group: Colombia 7 points, Portugal 5, Uzbekistan 3, but it won't be enough to help them into the third place race, and DR Congo have a single point. As Colombia come forward now, a low cross into the area, and it's wide from Rios. Well, I think it was his first touch, and he arrived at the near post 6 yards out and failed to hit the target.
Well, just brilliant play from Colombia. A wonderful ball inside the full-back and the centre-half by James Rodriguez. A brilliant run again by the right-back, Santiago Arias. And he just cuts the ball back, and Richard Rios does really well. He runs into the box late, he's waiting for the cut-back. It was his first touch, so perhaps he's not game ready, but what an opportunity that was. So open your body, open your foot up even more, because he's past the near post, so as the ball comes to him, he's got to just open his body up a little bit more, and in the end he's hit it past the near post.
Colombian fans turn up the volume as they come forward again. Luis Diaz, left-hand side, good challenge though from Diogo Dalot, who's done well since coming on at half-time, and he can move it forward now into a vacant midfield area. Vitinha looking for width. Ronaldo spins in behind, but into an offside position, and then Vitinha has been caught by Rios, and it will be a free kick, and the referee once again keeping his cards in his pocket. Just a word for the Benfica midfielder who nearly scored a few moments before. Well, Colombia have had 15 shots, Portugal 11 in the game so far, combined 7 of them have been on target. We've had some wayward finishing, we've also had some great saves, and that's why it's still 0-0. Bruno Fernandes and Cristiano Ronaldo over this free kick. It's a long way out. If Ronaldo hits this, well, he doesn't. That's a rarity. He's walked away.
Even too far away for him.
Clipped high by Bruno Fernandes, looking for Ronaldo, and everybody misses it, and it goes behind for a goal kick.
But we saw that. I mean, they were a little bit closer to goal. That looks like Ronaldo's going to take it. He runs toward, just slowly jogs towards the goal. Fernandes dinks it to the far post, but because he was that further out, the Colombian defenders read that. I thought initially that Machado had got a touch on it, but Ronaldo was claiming it as well, but no, he didn't.
Tricky game for Portugal if they go through against Croatia, and then they could face Spain in the next round. Here's an opportunity for Luis Suarez. The angle's tight, and his shot took a deflection off Renato Vega and spins across the penalty area, but Luis Suarez will be a different sort of threat for Portugal now.
Well, again, it's just really good forward play, getting in between two defenders. And to be fair, he's just a little bit wide, and it was really good defending from Vega in the end. He's pushed him further out, so the goal's getting tighter, and he's got a touch when the shot comes in, but it's a Colombia corner.
Played short to John Arias. Now James Rodriguez arcs a high ball into the area, flicked on by Davinson Sanchez and wide of the far post. Another opportunity for Colombia, and this stadium is really made for this sort of game. Steeply banked stands on all 4 sides, and there have been some really good games in here so far. And Argentina will be facing Cape Verde here in the round of 32, which will be another amazing occasion. Colombia, as it stands, will be going to Kansas, and Portugal to Toronto. As it's won back again by Colombia. Suarez, though, a poor ball wide to the far side, but Nuno Mendes has been robbed by Arias, and Rios can find John Arias now, who's got space on the right-hand side of the penalty area. He's waiting for Santiago Arias. Back to John Arias, who whips in the shot towards the near post, and it's beaten away by Diego Costa for a corner.
Well, again, it's the two Ariases, isn't it? Combining down the right-hand side. I wonder whether Santiago Arias, the right back, will try and whip it across, but no, he's cut it back to John Arias. He's had the shot. I think it's one of those where Costa's not going to be beaten from there.
James Rodriguez with the in-swinging corner. High to the far post, headed away as far as Luis Diaz, who's able to bring it down. Then back towards Puerta, who hits it! And it was half a yard wide. Clattered into the pitch microphones behind that goal.
Well, I'll tell you what, this is not a 0-0. It's really not a 0-0 game. Incredible from both sides, but I still think Colombia are edging it. The atmosphere just absolutely incredible. And do you know what, Nigel, as well? The ball has hardly been out of play. It's been just to and froing, great play. Just no one's quite been able to get that shot on target where the keeper can't get near it.
And this is the first ever meeting between Colombia and Portugal, which I was slightly surprised by, but it's been played like a game between two nations with a really passionate rivalry.
Yeah, big history between the two. I mean, again, when I knew I'd be working on it, it just felt like a bit of a heavyweight game where two teams, you know, you feel that could go a long way. Portugal perhaps longer if it clicks for them, but even Colombia, if they play really well, then you feel they're capable of beating almost anyone in this competition. And the way they are playing here, you can see why. Portugal very much have been on the back foot for a lot of this game, but still look dangerous with the quality they've got as well. It's just been a A brilliant game to watch. As I say, not a 0-0 with one of the most incredible atmospheres I've ever witnessed.
Well, we're into the hydration break once again. Darkness has now descended on Miami. It's still Uzbekistan leading DR Congo by 1-0 in Houston. That will send both teams home from the group stage. As Roberto Martinez brings in his team for the discussion during the hydration break. A reminder, England through early tonight, beating Panama 2-0 in New Jersey. Croatia beating Ghana 2-1 to take second. Ghana will go through in third. And at the moment, Croatia will be playing Portugal in the round of 32. And still to come, in around an hour's time, on TalkSport 2, Algeria against Austria. That's a big game for so many reasons. If you know your history going back to 1982, Ian Danter and Perry Groves will bring you that game. And Jordan against Argentina will be over on TalkSport with Kev Hatchard and Tash Dowie. Lionel Messi has been left out this evening. Well, there's been an equaliser from Johan Visser from the penalty spot for DR Congo. They are back in that game in Houston. If they score one more, they will be going through. The situation changing again in Group K. DR Congo have got to win that game, but if they do, they will move on to 4 points, and that will knock out South Korea. They'll be going home. João Felix is coming off here for Portugal, along with Vitinha. Double change, and Rafa Leão and Samu Costa are the players who have come on. Rafa Leão of Milan, of course. And he's come off the bench now 3 times in the group stage. He was sent off in the final warm-up game against Nigeria, and Samu Costa plays his club football in Spain. And Portugal could meet Spain in the round of 16 if things stay as they are.
Yeah, 2 things. One, I don't mean to be disrespectful for Ghana. We know what they did, of course, against England, but if Colombia do face them, win this group, face them, again, no disrespect, I almost feel like I have to caveat that. There's Switzerland, winners of Switzerland or Iran, whereas if you finish runners-up in this group, as you say, although they haven't really got going yet, could be Spain in the round of 16. Just the other thing, you can tell it is getting dark. Matt Damon's taken his sunglasses off.
Yes. Took him an hour. So Colombia 7, Portugal 5, DR Congo 2, Uzbekistan 1. That's the point situation in Group K at the moment. The DR Congo need one more goal. And that would knock out South Korea, and it would leave Algeria on the brink as well, and they would need something from their game against Austria. That could be one of those games where a draw of convenience could suit everybody. And that would be the height of irony after what Austria did to Algeria in 1982, when Austria and West Germany colluded to produce a result that sent both of them through and Algeria home. Rios now for Colombia, midway inside the Portuguese half. And it's wide towards Machado. And he's got support from James Rodriguez, who is lasting the pace very well. He doesn't move around too much, but he's always in the action.
He is. He's always wanting the ball to feet, isn't he? We've seen him play a couple of lovely little balls. He can't really get past anyone with a burst of pace anymore, but certainly just helps the rhythm of Colombia with the ball.
Now Puerta back towards Rios. He tried to play the ball inside Nuno Mendes to find Santiago Arias, but Mendes won it back. But now John Arias has broken things up again for Colombia, wide towards Santiago Arias, low into the area. Luis Suarez on the turn, doesn't get hold of the shot, doesn't quite break for Luis Diaz, and in the end it scrambled away. Now Bruno Fernandes poked on towards Ronaldo, but he's lost out. Now James Rodriguez finding Luis Diaz, left-hand side of the penalty area. The cross-in is a dangerous one, but it's headed away. Funny back by James Rodriguez, and it was Renato Vega in the way. It popped off the top of his head behind for a corner, and if James Rodriguez had scored like that, that would have brought the house down.
Just as we've mentioned him, he's getting even more involved in the ball, isn't he?
Short corner, but too quick for the referee's liking. With 17 minutes to play on TalkSport 2. Colombia 0, Portugal 0. Now it's short to Luis Diaz. He will try and attack the penalty area. James Rodriguez with the cross. It's kept alive and nodded down towards Luis Suarez. Now, was he fouled? The referee says no. Waves away the appeals. Nuno Mendes will try and bring it clear. And in the end, a free kick's been given to Portugal. Well, Ali Reza Pagani was very quick to say no penalty.
No, not a penalty for me. Nuno Mendes just gets in front of Luis Suarez, who tries to kick, and he ends up catching Nuno Mendes, but there's no way that's a penalty. I do like the way the referees have reffed the World Cup so far.
No nonsense.
No nonsense, and they've allowed it physical. There's been times I'm thinking that's a foul, and they've allowed it to go on, but I'd rather it that way than the other way.
It's going to be another change for Portugal, maybe two actually. Juan Fernando Quintero, he's a veteran, he'll be coming on in his third World Cup. River Plate midfielder, he's coming on along with Kevin Castano, who also plays for River Plate in Argentina. And Colombia made some changes. They left out Daniel Munoz and Luis Suarez. Suarez now on the field, but at the moment they're getting the job done. The draw's good enough for them, but they are not sitting on the draw. They are attacking for the win.
No, you came out with that stat about, Colombia just don't do nil-nils, and you can see why. Mentality is not about game management or shutting up shop. It's about trying to be on the attack, play for their fans all the time. The fans must be loving what they're seeing, despite their team not winning.
And John Arias, who's had a fine game, he's coming off to be replaced by Kevin Castano. And James Rodriguez will also be withdrawn as well, and listen to the evasion for him. Well, they still love him. And he's had a good game as well, and the squat figure of Juan Fernando Quintero will replace him.
Just an incredible ovation for James Rodriguez. Absolutely adored by the Colombian public. And by the way, I think almost the whole of Colombia would be if they possibly could.
Well, it feels like they are, as Nuno Mendes brings it forward now for Portugal. Oh, he goes beyond Santiago Arias for pace, but the veteran recovers. Does he carry the ball behind for a corner? He does. And in fact, it was a good run from Rafa Leao on the far side, but Arias did well to recover, and it will be a corner kick. 64,000 inside the stadium. And the Colombian fans heavily outnumbering the Portuguese. But neither side's been able to come up with a goal here. We have 13 minutes to play. Bruno Fernandes, before taking the corner, is just doing up a bootlace, much to the annoyance of the Colombian fans.
Yeah, well, Austin McPhee, who's obviously the Aston Villa set-piece coach, same as Portugal. I don't think Bruno actually looked at him there as he was trying to direct what to do. He had his back to him, just doing his laces up.
Ronaldo is right on the goal line, being watched by Santiago Arias. It's played short to Diego Dallo. He fires in the shot. Oh, not too far wide. It was well worked, and it nearly came off.
It was really well worked. Looked like the ball was going to come in. A couple of Portuguese players running in, which took Colombian players in as well, and that allowed space for Darlow. His first touch was really good, and actually the strike, it wasn't a million miles away, but to be fair, Vargas in the Colombian goal pretty much had it covered. Are we going to get a winner? It's one of those now, isn't it? First goal, next goal's the winner, you think.
12 minutes to play, 0-0 here on TalkSport 2. And it's still DR Congo 1, Uzbekistan 1 over on the TalkSport app. Now Machado coming forward now in towards Luis Diaz, but he can't get his feet in order inside the penalty area. And it's cleared away on this near side for Portugal. Pedro Neto brings it forward down the right, and he's wrestled to the ground on this near side by Puerta, and it will be a free kick.
First of all, it was good defending from Portugal, just getting numbers back in the box, because Machado was free there, and by the time he got the ball to Luis Diaz, there was 3 Portuguese defenders around him, and Pedro Neto went on one of his lung-busting runs, and Puerta tried to get close to him. He stopped in the end, and then he just thought, you know what, I've got nothing left, I'm going to foul him. And then Pedro Neto, I think, was quite happy.
Ronaldo now, 25 yards out, looks to work the 1-2 with Bruno Fernandes, and Ronaldo could be in, but the cross into the penalty area is deflected behind. It was good defending in the end, and Ronaldo, unselfish on this occasion, had the opportunity to pick out a teammate and nearly found them. Davinson Sanchez with the header behind.
Yeah, and he was onside as well there, Ronaldo, wasn't he? But the angle was too tight. You're still wondering whether, because it's him, he would try and have a shot with just a ridiculous angle. He didn't. He dinked it to the far post, and it's good defending from Davinson Sanchez.
10 minutes to play. Corner kick for Portugal as they look for the winning goal here. So much going on inside the 6-yard area in front of Camilo Vargas. Bruno Fernandes will swing this in. Ruben Diaz is having a wrestling match on the goal line with Richard Rios. The corner is headed away at the near post, and here's the breakaway for Luis Diaz. Needs some support, he's got options left and right. 4 forward here in this Colombian attack, and it's played wide towards this near side. And the cross in from Quintero, but it's blocked in the end. It was a disappointment for Colombia. And Mayele has given DR Congo the lead against Uzbekistan. They have come back late in the day. They lead, and that will be enough to send them through. Late drama on the TalkSport app. DR Congo 2, Uzbekistan 1. And the African debutants ahead thanks to Fiston Malele. And that is very bad news for South Korea. And it makes it very tight as well. And, as Scott points out to me, it could be England against DR Congo in the round of 32.
It's not over yet.
No. Well, we've still got Algeria against Austria to come, so who knows? Well, we know where England will be on Wednesday, but who they're playing is still a matter of mystery. Free kick here for Portugal in the meantime. But the system they've got with the third place finishers has muddied the waters in some cases, but it's also produced some real drama, and that's the case tonight, because DR Congo moving level on points, or rather 1 point behind Portugal, I should say, and they've come from behind. But it's a free kick here for Portugal. Nuno Mendes is over it, and he whips it into that near post, and it's headed away, and a free kick's been given. And the situation for the third place rankings now, DR Congo actually go up to second in that table. Sweden, the DRC, Ghana, Ecuador, Bosnia and Paraguay all on 4 points. Then it's Senegal on 3 points with a +2 goal difference, and Iran in the final place. They've got a 0 goal difference. South Korea are below the line, they're out as it stands. Algeria can move above the line and take out Iran if they get a point against Austria in the next game coming up on TalkSport 2. So this is holding the interest well into dawn.
Yeah. No, I don't mind the more teams in the World Cup, and the third place can qualify. I don't agree with it being head-to-head, because some of the teams that lost the first two games, then they're out. But it's certainly a little bit of jeopardy, isn't it, going into the very last game. It's been very exciting, and I mean, with this game, both teams are through at the start of it, but
different sort of jeopardy, though.
Do you know what, honestly, this is one of the best 0-0s I've seen, and just an incredible atmosphere. And again, you can't look too much further than the round of 32, but you do want to win this group if you want to try and get far.
Yeah, South Korea are out as it stands. Senegal are in, and Iran are the team who are vulnerable if Algeria pick up a point. Scotland out, of course, and Steve Clarke has announced he is leaving his position. Now Lukumi for Colombia. The thousands of Colombian fans in Miami still want a winning goal. 6 minutes to play on TalkSport 2. Quintero plays it forward, but it's cleared away by Renato Vega. And the Villarreal defender, formerly with Chelsea, of course, he's had a good game, actually, alongside Ruben Diaz. Now Puerta, cut out by Diaz this time, on the edge of the penalty area. And Bruno Fernandes looking to release Pedro Neto down the right-hand side. Bruno Fernandes again. Portugal have been talked about as potential contenders, but not really on this showing.
No, I mean, what I would say is, we know that they've got great players, and you know they can lift themselves, player for player, against any team. But if you said to me which one of these two could go the furthest on this particular performance, you could argue the way Colombia have played so far in the World Cup, it's got to be the Colombians.
Diego Dallo coming forward now. It's wide to this near side, and Pedro Neto on the right for Portugal. He clips it square of the penalty area for Rafa Leao. Oh, he's away from Rios, and Arias is on the floor. He's left him standing as well, but the cross is too deep. It's gathered by Dallo at the far post. He's challenged, and Dallo wins it back. The cross in towards Ronaldo, headed away though by Davinson Sanchez, and Pedro Neto overruns it on this near side behind for a goal kick.
I mean, you talk about that Austria-Algeria game, that a draw beforehand would be good enough for both of them. Well, a draw, we know beforehand, would be pretty much fine for both of these, but it's almost like they're playing for the World Cup final itself. They're giving their maximum. You have to say, Colombia being the better side, and actually Portugal haven't had a shot on target in the second half yet, which shows how well Colombia have done, but they still look dangerous when they get forward, and with the players they've got, it just takes one moment of brilliance, which we know they're capable of.
Gustavo Puerta has been booked for a foul on João Neves, and Santiago Arias, who maybe has a problem, is coming off here, and Daniel Munoz of Crystal Palace will come on to replace him.
Not a bad replacement, is it?
Well, he's scored in both games so far.
I think he's been a sensational player for Crystal Palace in the Premier League, so far for Colombia in the World Cup. I do think Santiago Arias, though, has had a superb game.
3 minutes of normal time to play here on TalkSport 2. 0-0 the scoreline over on the TalkSport app. The DRC leading Uzbekistan 2-1, and they are heading through with that scoreline. Now Munoz working it wide towards the right-hand side. Luis Suarez wants the pull back. The cross is high into the penalty area, and what a remarkable clearance from Ruben Diaz, because it looked for all the world that Luis Suarez was going to nod that into an empty net, but Diaz came in from nowhere to glance the ball away. Now Luis Diaz back towards Quintero, high cross to the far post, and it's fired away, and then Luis Suarez puts it over the top. Diego Costa attacked that with his feet, and in the end he volleyed the ball up in the air, and Diego Costa volleyed it back over his head but also over the top.
Well, I think Quintero he's just borrowed James Rodriguez's left foot, isn't he? You can see why one comes on for the other. It's a wonderful ball that's whipped in. And Diego Costa, you're right, he can't get near it, so he just sticks his leg out. And it comes up, but we're also just watching a replay of the header from Ruben Diaz. Now, Luis Suarez is flipped up because there's been a deflection off Nuno Mendes. And Luis Suarez is there at the far post, ready to head it in the net, just literally 1 yard, no more than that from goal. But Diaz has been superb all night, right position, right time, gets there first, and just flicks it on and makes sure the Colombians can't get that first goal.
Pedro Neto, 90 seconds of normal time to play as he attacks down the right-hand side, but it's a throw-in for Portugal. Roberto Martinez is readying one final change here, and it's Matheus Nunes who will come on. Only Erling Haaland made more starts than he did for Manchester City this season. Revelation as the converted right back.
Yeah, I wonder where he's going to play, because Darlow came on, didn't he?
Yeah.
And when he was a central midfielder, box to box for Sporting.
He was initially at Manchester City until they put him in that more defensive role. Now Darlow back towards Ruben Diaz. 30 seconds of normal time to play. Somehow it is still goalless, but Portugal have given the ball away. Davinson Sanchez wide to the far side. Munoz going forward on the overlap, but it's drifted high towards the near side, and Puerta is able to control. Works it around the penalty area with Luis Diaz. Back towards Castano. Now Rios flips it wide towards Munoz, who's got plenty of pace in those legs, having just come on. They cross into the area, flicked on by Luis Suarez. Now gathered at the far post by Machado. He's closed down by Neto. And I think it might be a corner for Colombia, and we're into 5 added minutes.
Now, it's great sportsmanship between these two. You can see they've had a real battle, both on an individual and a team basis as well. And as Pedro Neto gets there, Machado falls over. As he gets up, Pedro Neto just kisses the back of his head.
Corners work short. Quintero. High cross towards the far post. It's a good one! And it's headed in by Davinson Sanchez! And Colombia have won it in added time! Or has it? Davinson Sanchez not happy, and the goal appears to have been ruled out.
Well, it looks like the referee's assistant has put his flag up. Is he offside? It's a quick corner. No one's got out to them. It's another wonderful ball from Quintero. I'll tell you what,
he's not offside.
Oh, I think he's on. I think he's on.
Rafa Leao's playing him onside.
Yes, and because he's 10 yards further forward, the referee's assistant can't quite see that. So it looks like the line he's in, that Renato Vega, as closest to him, has played him offside. But actually, I think there's a couple of players, including Rafa Leao, who's a little bit further forward. The referee's assistant can't see from the angle he's at, and this is why we've got VAR.
Jerome Brissard, the VAR official, is checking this. Portugal have made a change. Nuno Mendes has gone off, and Matheus Nunes will come on. And offside is the call.
Wow.
Well, Johan Visser has made it 3-1 for DR Congo against Uzbekistan. They're going through. Colombia thought they'd won it here in the last minute, but offside the call, and that is a very, very interesting decision.
I'd love to see that line. We still haven't seen it yet. What kind of ruler are they using?
Now Nunes for Portugal. And Vega will play it wide to the far side for Rafa Leao, using his pace, a burst into the penalty area, low shot from him across the face of goal. He had about 6 players waiting for the pullback and used none of them.
Do you know what, he's done well since he's come on, hasn't he? He's such a good player, just so inconsistent, you never quite know what you're going to get, but on his day, it can be world class. And just after Colombia scoring, and Portugal still in the second half not having a shot on target, it looked like that Rafa Leao was suddenly going to, in the end, go on and score the winner. 36 attempts at goal between these two sides, 23 to Colombia, 13 to Portugal. This has been a great game.
Well, we've not seen the semi-automated offside to show who was... Well, we know who was offside because it was Davinson Sanchez, but at what point they've drawn the line, because on the one view we had on the monitor, it looked as though Rafa Leao was playing him onside. But here's an opportunity at the other end for Dalot, but it's cleared away long and high by Nunez.
What I would say is, Nigel, it was done very quickly, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, we kind of moan in the Premier League that it's done too slow, but just felt like if it came up very quickly, then and it's clear, then fine. But yeah, I thought that might have taken a little bit longer.
Well, it's played forward here for Colombia, and they still believe they can find a winning goal in this game. Luis Diaz on this near side, plays it infield towards Puerta. He holds off the challenge of João Neves, and Puerta finding Luis Diaz now into the penalty area, left-hand side, back towards Puerta, who hits it, it's deflected. But Colombia still win it back now, on the edge of the penalty area, in towards Luis Suarez, but it's swooped on by Diego Costa at the second attempt. I think he was maybe caught by Daniel Munoz, and he's down on the ground and may require some treatment, but he was caught by Munoz.
Yeah, he was. Accidental, though.
Well, we're watching a replay of the goal again, and he's offside by a toe cap.
By his toes. Yeah. Maybe it was the arm of Rafa Leao that made it look like he was keeping him onside. And obviously, the arm you can't score with that, so that's not part of the body to use.
Well,
even showing that, though, that was done quite quickly.
It was, and I think they've shown it in the stadium. That's why they
weren't happy.
Colombian fans were all booing. Still 3-1 to the DRC against Uzbekistan. What a story they're going through as well. And teams like Uruguay and South Korea are going home, along with Scotland. Now Diaz, wide to the far side, and that is it. And for the first time in their World Cup history, Colombia have a 0-0 draw, but it's enough to win the group. Portugal will finish second, and they will play Croatia in a tough game in the round of 32. Colombia will have to wait and see who they play. Tremendous game in a sulphurous atmosphere, and somehow it finished 0-0.
Just an amazing game of football, an amazing atmosphere before the game even kicked off, and just went up another notch or two or three once the game did start. And look, Portugal have got some wonderful players, wonderful individual players, arguably one of, if not the best set of midfielders in this competition. Cristiano Ronaldo is Ronaldo. He's come off the back of scoring 2 goals, could have had a hat-trick, could have had even more. I don't think anyone can deny that the Colombians were the better side. Led by James Rodriguez, and we don't know where he's going to be next season club-wise. But he seems to lift himself all the time when he's playing for his country, when he's leading his country, because he's so iconic. The class of Luis Diaz. Quintero came on for James and just continued to control things and whip in brilliant balls. I thought the two Arias, Santiago and John, down that right-hand side were superb. And yeah, just what a game. That's one of the best 0-0s I've ever seen, Nige.
And time now.